Hi everyone, please permit me to first of all apologize for the silence, or will I say absence, that seems to have been going on this channel for quite some time. I'm so sorry. I wish there was something else I could say or try to reorganize my schedule. Unfortunately, it is such a crazy busy one, and I know I should not be saying it here because this is something that I actually love to do. Unfortunately, life has just gotten off the rack busy. But guys, I'm trying to, as much as possible, combine the life of being a YouTuber, a wife, and also a student at the moment, and it is so intense. I'm not even a mother yet, and I'm talking this way. I know a couple of you just feel that shooting a YouTube video is just to sit down, bring out your camera, and then start pushing the video out there. But guys, it takes a while for some of us to just sit down and put our thoughts together to create a video that you get to enjoy, just because we are trying not to disgrace ourselves and our ancestors out here. So today's video, I'm going to be talking about some of the things that I think are like downsides of living in Dublin. I try to be as positive as possible on all of my videos and talk about all the good things that I can see around me. But guys, these are some of the questions that you get to send to me every now and again, and so I decided to just make a video talking about this. The first one will be that people eventually get to leave Dublin. Yes, and I'll be sharing why here. So I have noticed this as a pretty reoccurring event, that people get to leave the country after, or sorry, leave the city after a while to go live in the counties. Just because living out here in Dublin can be quite expensive, and most people, especially when they get to have kids, will just decide to move out to the counties. Because like for a house here in Dublin, or for like an apartment, which I'll probably pay for here in the city for like between 800 to 900 euros for a 1-bedroom apartment, in the counties you will get to have that same fee or being paid as house rent for like a 3 or 4-bedroom apartment, and you will live there like in a very huge compound with your family and be very comfortable. But here in the city, we all have to live in very tiny, not well thought out buildings that even sometimes you're trying to get like a 2-bedroom apartment, and it just seems like the designers or the architects for some reasons were not thinking straight. Like they designed this one a 2-bedroom apartment, and you get into it only to realize that there's no guest toilet or bathroom there, so you and your guests have to share the same toilet and bathroom. Like, why exactly do I have to do that? Was the architect sleeping when he was designing the house? Didn't he think that there should be like a room for the guests and then also for the main occupants of the house? But it is something that we get to deal with here, and it's just a very shitty situation. The next one is that Dublin is a very expensive city. So I made a video some time ago, which I will put the link up here on this video, talking about the cost of living here in Ireland, and I spoke about how Dublin was the 8th most expensive city in Europe. Right now, it recently overtook Paris to become the most expensive city in Europe, and still yet we have lots of foreign investors coming in their troops to put their money into the country. Maybe they're seeing something that we aren't, trying to put their money into an overpriced system and make business for themselves. The next one will be Dublin traffic. That traffic can actually make you to start speaking Irish, and I am not kidding. So guys, sometimes, especially early in the mornings and late after work, when you have to go back home, you realize that traffic is just crazy and just seems chaotic out here. So most people will probably just rather park their cars at home. Thankfully, the public transportation to an extent is quite manageable, so most people rather just take like trains or buses into the cities, so they don't have to also suffer the hassle of trying to park their cars, because parking cars out here is also pretty difficult. I mean, I live in the city, but I cannot even get a car for myself because there is no place to park the car. So even in my workplace, the car park that we have to get your car parked for one day there is 15 euros. 15 euros. Imagine I have to pay that for 1 week. That would be like 75 euros. That is just outrageous as far as I'm concerned. So most people rather just park their cars outside. I have a scooter, thankfully for me, so I can easily maneuver and find my way around the city whenever I decide to. But guys, it's just the situation of things. It's just something that Dublin has not really sorted out yet. The housing accommodation crisis in Dublin is so real. You guys always send me emails asking me questions about accommodation and where you can get to stay when you come into the country. But guys, unfortunately, I actually do not have any answer to that question. So every time I go into a new city, I'm always so intrigued, and I love to just find out how exactly they get to manage their housing situations, because I've come out here and I'm so shocked to realize that homelessness is a real thing. So I was taking a walk a few weeks back, and I was quite surprised to see a group of people who were lying down outside and trying to protest with these banners that they put in front of a house. So I decided to stop by and ask a couple of questions, just because I am a foreigner who knows little or nothing about this situation that the country is going through right now. And it's been ongoing for quite some long time now. I really do not know what exactly government is doing about it, but I will just add a clip that I got from asking people questions about what they think about the homeless crisis and what exactly is causing the problem.
Sorry.
Yeah, hiya.
May I ask you just what is this manifestation all about? I'm a little bit curious.
It's to do with the homeless, basically in Ireland.
Yeah.
It's a protest against the government because they won't give homeless people housing and assistance.
Okay.
Basically, they won't home people. So yeah.
So
Is it something
the whole
received?
crowd, or just the part of them, or are they trying to get into the house?
No, there's people living in there.
Oh, they be.
Well, you see, there was the building was repossessed this morning,
Yeah.
so they got a court order that they had to give it back. So now these guys are all protesting, and so if anyone comes and tries to take back the building, they're just going to stand in the way.
Yeah.
So homeless people lived here before.
Yeah, what they're doing is they're going around the city, and because there's so many vacant buildings with so
Yeah.
many homeless people,
They took
they're
ownership.
taking over vacant buildings. And
The
so
government is
homeless.
taking over the
The
government-
homeless-
The
the
homeless
homeless.
people are taking over the vacant buildings.
Yeah, because they're empty.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
okay.
right.
Because there's a lot of vacant buildings in the city
That's
that are owned by multinational companies,
Yeah.
and they won't develop them.
Yeah.
They won't put people into them.
Yeah.
And when they are developed, they're just given back to the multinational company to rent to their employees.
I see.
So it all stays at the same level. So you're not taking care of the normal people, which is wrong.
Absolutely, especially with the weather, with the winter. I'm wondering how these people are going to. There's a lot of people dying because of cold and.
They've been doing this for months. Like, they'll get kicked out of one building, they'll just go to another,
Go somewhere else, yeah.
and they're going to keep doing it.
Another downside, which might not be a downside for most people, is that Dublin is fun and full of so many social activities, but still yet most of those activities and extracurricular activities are revolving around the pub. So after work, the best places for most people to hang out in will be like pubs. And if that is not like your sense of relaxation or extracurricular activities, then you might find it difficult to socialize and mix up and make friends for yourself in such a city. But I've eventually learned to just go out to the pub. I don't have to drink, and not every one of them actually gets to drink when you get there. So I've learned to just go there and for the crack of it, spend time with my friends and just talk and make light of every situation and forget all my sorrows. Dublin is the capital of Ireland, and I believe is the largest city. So for most people, you will expect that, not according to my standards though, but at least according to European standards, that the transport system will be at least at par with some other cities. But unfortunately, that is not so. So the rail system doesn't connect from the airport to the city center, and also it doesn't connect to other countries. So a couple of times my friends get to ask me like, can I come into Dublin, like just take a train from the UK? And I'm like, no, you can't. You have to book a ticket, go get a visa and travel to come down here. It's either you're coming through the airspace, or you're coming in by ferries, which is like through water. And unfortunately, that is the way it has been for quite some time now. I think they said that the rail system is going to be linking from the city center to the airport in a couple of years. I think the proposal has been put out, fortunately. So the only way to connect from the airport to the city center at the moment is by taking either buses or taxis, which can range to approximately 20, which can charge you up to 20 euros. Another downside of living in Dublin is that there are lots of junkies in this city, and I got to notice recently, especially because I recently took a trip out of the country, and for some time I just haven't seen junkies, and then I come back into Dublin and I'm like, what the heck is going on in this country all over again? Like, can we just can this just end somehow? But anyways, it's something that they are dealing with here, and it's so heartbreaking to just see people's friends and families sink themselves into this thing called drug abuse and not be able to figure out how exactly to get themselves out of the problem. So that's just something I will consider as a downside of living in Dublin, just because one day you want to bring up your children wherever you're living in, and it might just not be a very nice thing for your kids to see every time. Alright guys, so I'll be wrapping today's video here. I hope I was as lenient as I could possibly get. Please do not come for my hair today, because this is just a question that was asked by someone and I decided to share my thoughts on the topic. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel, and if you live in this city and you feel like there are some downsides that I did not get to mention, please write them in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on my next video. Until then, slán!